Alrighty then, I believe we are live. Let me go ahead and check. Certainly hope we are. Indeed, and it looks as though the thumbnail and title are going to persist. Perfect. At least I hope so. Anyway, regardless of that, I'll just wait for a few more people to arrive. Hello, Jasdeep. Good to see you again. Yeah, I bet this time of day actually is probably more suitable, I suppose, for people who are further east rather than further west. Because it will be later on in the day, and obviously everything at that point is finished. So mid-afternoon here is later on. The further east you go. Hello, Joseph. Tell you what, we may as well, I believe I've changed all the video settings back to what they should be. Yeah, that's about right. Don't want to push my luck too much because we're to the point in the game now where crashing may come into it a little bit more. Hello, Mediocre and Heir of Arnor. Let's get into this, shall we? We'll at least get onto the campaign map before we start moving. I'll give it a little bit of time before we actually start doing things. Today you will finish Dog-Guldor and go for the heart of Isengard. Well, actually, I think Isengard kind of takes priority, because if we leave Isengard be, they have a much better chance, I think, of actually recovering. Whereas Dog-Guldor, I think they're kind of, because we've taken their capital, like, they're still a nuisance, but they're not really going to expand outwards, I don't think. Even if they can try and besiege Thranduil, I don't think they can actually defeat Mirkwood from their position, because I don't think they have the backing to do that without their capital. Isengard, on the other hand, if we were to leave them be from the position we're in, they would still be a threat that we don't want to have to deal with. Hello, Owen. Give it a little bit more time for people to come in, as I said. Just take stock for the time being. I mean, we have quite a lot of land on the map. There's a nice blob of green. And as far as I can remember, yeah, none of these armies are especially scary, especially not separate as they are. So if we can stomp them one by one, I do think probably the best thing to do, go straight for Orthanc or first take Helm's Deep. Well, I think the thing to do would be to go for Foldberg and then head probably towards Orthanc. I think that would be the best way to handle things, because we can always double back and take Helm's Deep afterwards. I think that would be the best way to... Because if we were to leave Gainard here and go for Helm's Deep, these armies would be able to then retake this castle and then have a place where they can springboard off and try and attack Rohan again. But Edoras is under siege, so Rohan should be good to take back their capital by themselves. They shouldn't need my help to do that at the very least, and Isengard won't be able to get reinforcements to them because of my position over here. What's your goal for today? Hello, Welt. My goal for today is to effectively stabilise my position, and then what will happen next, we can start sort of really marching forwards. I think we can probably clip Isengard's wings in this part, if nothing else. I think the last part, what happened in the last 2 turns of the last part, has probably done them in, I think. I think they flew too close to the sun in many ways, actually, because they're at war with everyone around them. It's 4 factions in total, including me, Rohan, obviously, Gondor as well, who have been doing stuff. Like, Gondor have gone forwards and they have been battling Isengard in this gap of the White Mountains over here. And they're at war with Enedwaith as well. So I think it's just too much at this point. I don't think they're going to be able to hold from all sides. So as soon as we take Orthanc, I think they crumble. Take Foldberg and Eisenrun. May cut off Orthanc. Well, yeah, but they can still train stuff in Orthanc is the problem. And that's probably where they're going to be training their good stuff. And there is a certain element of a ticking clock to this as well, because we want to really deal with Isengard before they start churning out their heavily armoured infantry and pikes, because then it becomes a little bit more of a problem for our sort of lighter units to get the level of efficiency that you need as the elves, really. We can't afford to be bogged down in a war of attrition against Isengard. But I think we left off really at the end of a turn, more so than anything else. Dol Guldur is still fine. Can we build anything? Not really. Let me have a look here. Double click. Nope. Just wondering what the culture situation is here in Dog-Guldor. Well, hang on a minute, actually, there's a thing down here, isn't there? Settlement details. Yeah, I mean, this is... We need to get rid of some of this Melkor's Shadow business. Which is going to... I think we're going to need to demolish some buildings, to be honest. Anything that isn't an economy building that will help us, I think the time has come to start bulldozing some of these Dog-Guldor buildings. The blacksmith can stay, the mining network can stay, but garrison quarters, that's useful because, again, most of this stuff is useful, but like we can't use stuff like this because the culture's in the toilet, so we'll get rid of some of this. Should destroy some of the redundant orcish buildings. Well, not a lot of them are fully redundant, but the recruitment ones are because the culture is so bad that I can't actually recruit anyone anyway. Carpenter's Hut is still somewhat useful. Practice range is worthless because you can't utilise it. The mining network is somewhat useful. Roads, the mining network. We've got a bladesmith. We've got a bladesmith guild here, but we can't use it, which is frustrating. See, that's decent income, so we want to keep that really. You know what? I don't really mind about building costs because we can just build our own builders hall anyway, and that's given us a little bit of money as well, actually, that will be useful elsewhere. Yeah, I don't want to get rid of the mines, Joseph. Don't worry about that. We will be keeping them. So we're already building stuff in there. We're not recruiting any units in here, which we should endeavour to change. We should always be recruiting stuff at this point, because now we want to be spreading our wings a little bit. At least recruiting stuff as and where we're able. Town Guard. We could use this as another recruitment hub, potentially. Because we can't build anything in Aruri other than a spy. Dirt paths might be useful as well. But then I don't think we're really going to be going this way, so maybe movement isn't really necessary. Maybe anything, or building just nothing over here is necessary. And we should instead endeavour to build up other areas. I don't think we're able to move our army here any further. Not really. So we'll garrison Guynard for now. And that will be that for now. Yep. And they call it a mine. Hello there, Rohan. Finally, our relationship is proving to be fruitful. Yeah, don't worry, Builder's Hall is first up on the agenda for Dog-Guldor now that we can build our own version. Get another spy or diplomat to... We've already entered diplomacy with Enedwaith. There is a diplomat that I'm using to go over to Imladris right now, Owen. And hopefully we can get a trade agreement and an alliance going with Elrond and Círdan. But my other diplomat is still just waiting around outside of Thranduil's halls. Because that is something else that I would like to be able to do at some stage in the near future. I want to be able to do the Sylvan Alliance script. Lads, come on. There's no need for this. Look at this. There's all sorts of like festering horrors around Dog-Guldor. Yeah, Isengard is sending more units down there, which leads me to believe that Gondor, that army that Gondor have got down there, is still causing them trouble. Which, I have to say, Gondor have really impressed me in this campaign, because you'd expect them to slowly crumble, but I think that early peace they got with Khand has really given them the breathing space they needed to be the shield of the south. Edoras has been reclaimed. Edoras has been gloriously taken back by the valiant and courageous men of Rohan. The seat of the king is restored, and Rohan's people celebrate throughout the kingdom. They now ride open to face the enemy with much power restored to their realm and willpower. Such a victory will strike fear into the foes of the Horse Lords, and may very well assist the restoration of Rohan. I knew you could do it, Rohan. March Warden Orthanc promoted. Long have the March Wardens protected the borders of the Lady's Realm, but she has foreseen dark tidings ahead. Orthanc, brother of Haldir, so another of Haldir's brothers, has arrived. And here he is. You can actually go into Carascaladon, actually. This might be a useful time to actually send you back over to Lim here. Right, you go in there. You go over there. And that should be, we should be getting some good cash from that. Right, as for this, yep. Carry on. What are Adunaim doing? I don't know, actually. Let's have a faction summary. They are at war with Gondor and with Dol Amroth. So well, Dol Amroth had the hello, rival. But Dol Amroth had the pop-up message to say that they were prospering. So I assumed that Umbar effectively are locked in battle with Dol Amroth and not making any progress. Which would make sense. You know, Dol Amroth doing well. Right, meanwhile, over here. Well, to be fair, if Rohan have taken back Edoras, they should be able to take back Helm's Deep by themselves. Really. What else have we got going on? We've got you. We'll build up another little force in Aknod and then head up towards Dol-Guldor to build a nice big force. But we definitely need to start building up some areas now. First things first, where's that Builder's Hall? There it is. Perfect. Still can't build anything units-wise. As for you, we don't actually have an armory over here, which would probably... Well, do we? Do we have an armory? No, it doesn't look like it. There it is. I think an armory in Erui would be useful, just to stop them from going around. Because Dol-Guldor might try some trickery in that way. And we're already recruiting units, so there's no need to be concerned about that. As for this over here, we'll go for some land clearance as well to start building up Rockburg. Orthanc can't speak Westeron. Well, he's going to stick around in Lothlorien, I think, anyway. He's going to oversee Carascaladon while Celeborn and his boys, the lads over here. Yeah, you've made a serious mistake coming this way, Captain Gazrad. Going to finish these guys off. Always build an armory and a builder's hall when they're available. Well, an armory takes away from the economy a little bit of the settlement. Builder's hall, absolutely. Far braver man than I to have settlements ungarrisoned. Well, it's more out of necessity than anything else, because the whole difficulty from this campaign so far has been because I wanted to save Rohan. If I left Rohan to their fate, we would be having a much smoother time of it. Dol-Guldor would probably already be dead. But so too would Rohan. And, I mean, thematically, I don't know if I'd be comfortable with leaving Rohan to their fate. Like, I wanted to save them. As poor as their performance was in the early stages, they have rallied as a result of those stacks that spawned to save them. Which is good. Right, you two. We're going to go this way with you two. You lot are going to go over here. First things first is definitely going to be to follow each of them with a unit of spears, and the rest can sit behind the ballista, waiting for the enemy to move forwards. I think we're in a good place. Let's shoot them. They have no walks. Okay. Again, this is going to be pretty simple then, I think. In faraway territories, law bonus from armories reduces corruption more than they drain from... Well, yeah, that's a good point. But, I mean, we haven't really had any faraway territories. Like, this area, this province is the furthest away. Watchtowers across the fields of Celebrant. Well, I don't want to leave Dol-Guldor for the moment, because there's armies waiting in ambush stance. And Haldir's army is depleted, and we can't build anything within Dol-Guldor, which is a problem. So our invasion of Dol-Guldor has been stalled as a result of our escapades into the Westfold. Rohan won't be able to ask where I was when the Westfold fell, because I took it back for them. Dak is very harsh on corruption. Well, it makes sense. You know, the dark corruption is obviously a... I think it makes sense, like, culture and corruption and such, like, it's definitely more Middle-earth than, like, religion mechanics from standard Med 2. So I think it's a good thematic replacement, I think. Right, shoot into them. Right, we're going to have plenty of... We're going to have a lot of ability here to shoot into them as they continue to try and run. They're still just scurrying up the hill. Come on, boys. It's especially as Lothlorien, because I'm... Under normal circumstances, I like to be a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more gung-ho, but you can't do that as Lorien, because if you do, like, losing units as Lorien or any of the elves really is so much more punishing. What's the main training centres that you hold? Karas Galadon, Lim here, and a Drycharn is sort of being built up as well to be a training hub. And obviously Dog-Guldor will ultimately be a training hub for us too. Dog-Guldor and Karas Galadon, I think, are the only places you can build some units. Like, I think the highest tier of units, like the Galathrym. What would you think if Castamir's rebellion never broke out? Well, I think... I guess the natural conclusion would be that the blood of Numenor would still be stronger in Gondor. But that's a very simplified way of looking at it, I think. But I think thematically it makes sense that it did happen. Do they even have any archers that they can answer us with? I don't think they do. Perhaps they have like a couple of units. No, they do have Uruk-hai archers. Oh, they're on the hill as well. Bloody hell. Right. Shoot them. Oh, come on, stop dawdling. We should be able to kill them off pretty quickly though, and now we've got them coming down the hill. Got them right where we want them. Yeah, those Uruk-hai archers aren't going to offer much, I don't think. The Gondorian monarchy would have ended at some point, Great Plague, and the Balchoth would have still happened. Yeah, like the whole stuff with the Great Plague and with all of that stuff that happened, because like the War of the North was also something that happened around the same time. It's one of the reasons why I'm surprised that isn't the topic of the new show, to be honest, because I think there's probably more to work with there. Like the rise and fall of Numenor is all well and good, but I don't know, I think the War in the North probably would have been a better setting for it, to be honest with you. Nargothrond. Let's be a little bit more careful now with the ballista. Okay. Shoot them. Shoot them. Okay. Let's go this way. We've got our... What is that unit that's of low strength in there? Oh, it's you. Okay, you go over here. These Reavers are certainly nothing to be taken too lightly. Isengard definitely pack more of a punch. But we should be fine. Turin. Stuff from the Silmarillion definitely isn't my strong point. Are they routing? No, they're not. Okay. Are they already out of ammunition? That would be fairly surprising. Shoot them. Oh, they're all routing though. This is bad for them. Good. Again, that morale shocking effect that the Gerthenen have is so good. It's so useful for us. Shoot them. Berio e Engelife, the finest unit that we can muster. I think. Well, I'll talk about what I'm going to do with the Sylvan Alliance later, though. But I mean, oof, brutal.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
You get over here. You actually keep fighting against them. Charge up the hill. Easy as you like. Again, we are going to take losses as we do this, which does mean there is a bit of a ticking clock because we can't really get reinforcements down here. But they can't be helped. Morgoth would have been more hesitant in assaulting Gondolin. Morgoth should have been killed by Fingolfin. Things with AP seem like the most painful thing to fight as any elite faction in DAC. Well, it makes sense because armour is much more of a factor in Divide and Conquer. Actually, no, yeah, you keep going up against the Uruk-hai archers. You keep fighting against them. Right, we don't want to be getting any friendly fire. Armour is not our strong suit anyway, so it's not so much the armour that's the armour piercing which is getting us. It's just the base damage, because the basic troops are going to struggle to do much damage to us because of how good our melee defense is, especially as Lorien. Would Lorien and Reforged get the blue cloaks for elites again, or is the blue cloaks, or is the cloaks grey for the colour scheme? I don't know. Isn't the like the grey colour scheme is more of a DAC thing, which I like because you know it's lore friendly. But then Lorien is more of a heavy duty faction in Reforged. They're sort of meant to. It's meant to be like a sliding scale with the elves, really, like with their like armor levels. Imladris being at the top, Linden being down at the bottom, and then Lorien being second. But we should be getting heavier units, a little bit more so as the campaign enters this phase, to be honest with you, because we're getting to the point now where we might start seeing some Galathrim. We'll certainly start seeing the Keren Amroth units. Are they still there? Oh, they are. Remarkable. Yeah, you keep fighting against them. This is like a fairly sizable force, though. One of the more sizable forces they have left. No, we've got to continue. We've got to run them down. I wouldn't normally be so particular, but as Lothlorien you do kind of need to be. You there. Cut them off. You need sentinels of Keren Amroth and Yavanna's Chosen. I do have stables now. I'm building some basic cav. Again, it was more a question. Most of what I've done has been more sort of because I've had to do it. You know, the situation was bleak. And I focused on archers because that's what you're going to do as Lothlorien.
By the victory we have won here today.
So we lost 100 men. That's a bit of a shame, but they did decide to attack us. They did take up position on that hill. But we do need to be careful not to lose too many. I at least want to take Foldberg. That is sort of like non-negotiable, really. Because that's a natural choke point that they're not going to be able to do much about. Hello, Lango. More reason not to do my exam project. Well, I mean, as long as you've got enough time to get on with it.
Set up an ambush.
Execute them all. Gynard is unhappy, but that's to be expected. What have we got going on in here? We've got Sardush, who's a general. But we don't really... Well, what have we got going on here? Well, I mean, I'll tell you what we will do. We're going to just bulldoze all of the Orc buildings, because Rohan are going to get rid of them anyway. Right. I don't think we've got anything to worry about. What's this? Just a general. That's a decent garrison that Eisenrun has got. Right, anyway, before I forget, there is something that we must do. Yes, my lord. Which is to get Elrond the Fearless on our... Their wealth is bankrupt, which is a little bit... I'll give you some map information, so how about that?
This seems quite reasonable.
Good. I'm glad you think so.
Else do you have to suggest?
They won't accept an alliance because we're too far away, but...
That seemed fruitful. Farewell.
Right, we'll go back down here with him now.
Stopping here.
Right, what have we got going on now? We're still building units. Those units have already moved. Right. Which colour scheme do you prefer for Lorien and Reforged, blue or green? I think green is slightly... I mean, it doesn't really matter what you do, because they're going to clash with either Mirkwood or Imladris and Linden, aren't they, at some point? I think you can have both, really. You do a better job of making it safe. Right. Gynard may very well... Well, I mean, it'll probably riot first before it immediately... Because I want to just give it back to Rohan, really. Like, it's their problem. I don't really want to be down here if I can help it. I just want to make sure that they are self-sufficient. Right, let's assault. 485 soldiers.
Fight to the end.
I'm happy to sit in Foldberg for the time being with this army, though. Maybe... Depending on how Isengard are doing against other territories, maybe we don't need to focus on getting Orthanc. Because if I take it, I'll need to get it anyway. What does trade rights do? Increase profits? Yeah, it's a trade agreement. So, ooh, this is a neat little town. I'm glad that we can just go straight into assaults now without needing siege equipment because of the ballista. That alone has made it a worthwhile pick. Right. You lot can go over here. You lot can go over there, because we're just going to sort of attack them and prod them with archers from multiple sides, because like infantry wise we are looking a little bit thin on the ground. Like every fight we take against Isengard, they're going to be more capable of doing the business against us than Dog-Guldor. Yeah, the Beriote Engolith are a fantastic looking unit, but as you would expect... Ooh. What are you doing? No. Stop that. Yeah, that's fine. Well, I mean, these are the bodyguard for Isengard, right? Yeah, Uruk-hai bodyguards. They're the big boys for Isengard. Right, these palisades should go down pretty quick, shouldn't they? Yeah. Right, anyway, regardless, let's push in with some of our archers now. Nazkai. Hello, White in the Black Cloud, or am I Dill? Do you remember when Nazkai bodyguards were a thing? Yes, I do. They were kind of redundant a little bit, though. I understand why they were taken out. I much prefer the Nazkai as they are at the moment, being like the big two-handers, and that's the bodyguard unit for them. I think that makes a lot more sense. I also like the fact that there are Temple of Melkor sort of bits and pieces for Isengard that they've built in and amongst the old Rohirric settlement. That's pretty neat. The rest of their units appear to be... They're actually coming outside? That's brave. Alright. Again, there is the unit limit which you have to consider, which means that if a unit is superfluous, you are better off getting rid of it so that other factions can have more things. These guys are going to be tough boys, but I mean they're really coming out into the lion's den here. But I mean we will just get some swordsmen forward. So we only got one unit of swordsmen actually, but what's this? This is Gerthinen. Surely the palisade will fall now. They miss? Come on boys, please. Oh, they're running away again, are they? No. They don't seem to be able to make up their mind here. There we go. Ooh, what faction do I find most compelling in terms of lore? That is a hell of a question. Certainly a difficult one to answer. I mean, if you're talking about Third Age, I think Arnor's kind of cheating because there's technically like 3 separate bits. The elves have got a long history. I've always had a bit of an affinity for Gondor though. I have always liked sort of what they're all about, sort of holding on by their fingernails to the territory under constant pressure from Mordor, still holding out. And it's not hard to see why they feel a bit aggrieved, to be honest with you, because they're there sort of facing down the bulk of the threats, and yeah. Look at this, look. I mean, this is very, very nice for us, I have to say. Hopefully we can get a shot in there right now. Yes, here we go. Excellent. What are they fighting? Fighting amongst themselves? Swiftness is active. The Zurich-High bodyguards are having a tough time of it now. But I think the time has come for us to probably start getting our units a bit further forward. Because at this point we don't really have too much of a choice. Oh, that was a bit of a mistake. We grilled some of our own men. But I think we should be good to... We should be fine. With the Gerthinen on the front line, they should probably rout fairly quickly, to be honest with you. But we are running out of ammunition on these boys now. Ooh, Lothlorien March Warden's getting engaged. That's not what we want. Run away, Rumil. Interesting line-based formation from the AI. Do you know about Helm Hammerhand? I know of him. To be fair, I don't know as much about him as I probably should.
Only half the enemy force remains.
What is the law with the sacking of Sirion? Right, they got out of there, so let's move them back here. You just get in there, actually. We can rout them pretty fast, I think. Well, actually, no, we don't want our archers to take damage either, do we? They're wavering at this point. Yeah, we're in a good place now, I think. I mean, the Nazkai bodyguard, or Nazkai, Uruk-hai bodyguard are a problem. We're actually getting friendly fire as well, which, again, we don't want. But there's not much that can be done there. Right, they're gone. And at this point, I think we're probably better off just leaving our archers be, to be honest with you. Oath of Feanor was not a good decision. I'm surprised actually that the Uruk-hai Raiders are still standing. Right, that unit of Girthenen can go over there and deal with them. You shoot them. I like the look of the Lothlorien March Wardens as well. They have the armour upgrade, I believe, because they can have their armour upgraded, and Arumil spawns with said upgrade. But I do like them. They've actually got a shield as well, which is pretty neat. Obviously, though, this is the finest that we have. Are those Uruk-hai bodyguards running away? Actually, you... Yeah, they're shooting, so it's fine. I'm surprised the Uruk-hai Raiders are still holding on, but I guess their general is still alive. Did you like the look of Legolas in Desolation of Smaug with chainmail and shoulder pads? I mean, to be fair, one thing I will say about The Hobbit is I think the casting was still pretty good. Like, the guy they got to play, the gentleman they got to play Thranduil was good at the role, I would say. And while I think the dwarves were a little bit... There was definitely room for improvement with how they portrayed the dwarves, I think. I do think that most of the people they got for, like, Balin and Thorin were good choices. Right, bring down those Uruk-hai bodyguards. There they go.
Without him, his troops will lose their will to fight.
Routing and broken. What's going on here? They're getting shot by something. Are there archers in the town centre? No, there are Uruk Reavers in there though. Alright. Celeborn, you go up and deal with them, yeah? I mean, the elves are... I don't know. I mean, the elves, they aren't really known for sort of having loads of children, other than Theanor, at least. Celeborn himself can deal with this. Nothing they have is a match for him and his boys. Hello, A291. Hobbit had some pretty good elements. You had the casting, music, Smaug, and some real good songs. Well, yeah, the Misty Mountains song is obviously a good one.
Proved their worth today. The enemy's walls belong to us now.
But I mean, it's not too surprising when you hear about, like, obviously the changing directs and stuff. Like, Jackson did what he could with what he was given. But ultimately there were always going to be problems. And obviously they still had the cast from the old films as Gandalf and Saruman and Elrond and Galadriel. Tyler 6, what's your favourite war movie? I'm not sure if you could call it a war movie as such, because it's not as, it's kind of light-hearted in a way. But I've always been a fan of Callie's Heroes. It's on most, like, Christmases, like either on like Christmas Eve or Boxing Day. It tends to be on one of the channels, and I always end up watching it. And obviously Clint Eastwood can't beat a bit of Clint Eastwood playing a gruff, angry man. Right, come on, Celeborn. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Shredding through those Uruk Reavers.
Awed by the victory we have won here today.
Favourite horror movie? I don't watch horror movies enough, to be honest with you, to give an answer to that. Most horror movies are sort of like secondary to the sort of just hanging around with friends. 53 soldiers lost. Again, that's more losses, so we are accumulating losses here. Battle of Winterfell in Season 8 took over the longest fight from Helm's Deep, and it was so bad. Well, yeah, but it got raked across the coals, so no one's going to point to it and say, look, it's the longest battle, therefore it must be the best. Toriel and Killy. Yeah, that was an element of the movie which let it down pretty badly, Toriel and Killy, which a lot of people obviously say... Oh, hold on. Apologies. I would argue, though, that one of the weaker parts of the original trilogy was Aragorn and Arwen. Like, I don't think it was just functional. It was just sort of neutral. I wouldn't say that it added to Aragorn's motivation, I suppose, but it didn't really... Like, it didn't elevate the movie. It was just sort of there. So, I mean, there was a sort of precedent for romance not being maybe the strongest suit of the films anyway. Right, we'll occupy that settlement. And let's have a little look over here. Isengard reached. You have reached Isengard, or Iron Fortress, a large fortress guarding the fords of Isen from enemy incursions. Saruman made it his base of operations for his search for the One Ring and his attacks on Rohan. There is Zugdash in here. That's not a big army, though. The Orthanc Stone. We could take that. We could take that, absolutely. Right, you've already moved. Aragorn and Arwen wasn't in the books, wasn't brilliant either. Well, I think it's just a vehicle for Aragorn, really, isn't it? It's just it adds to his character and his motivation, and and it gives him reasons for doing some of the things that he does. They tried making Arwen a bit more important. Yeah. I mean, I don't dislike Arwen in the movies. I just don't think that the relationship was... It didn't add a great deal either. It was just sort of there. But it wasn't actively poor like the Tauriel Killy thing was in The Hobbit, which, again, a lot of people point to that and say, well, I mean, what on earth is this? And they're right to do so, because it's not good. Definitely room for improvement there. Right, we could build a barracks over here. I think an armory is actually less of a concern. Master Builder's Hall? Yes, definitely. Karas Galadon. We're already building an archery range there. Okay. And we are done. Yeah, I was sort of waiting to see what sort of defense there was at Orthanc, but seeing as there's actually not all that much, I'm going to take it. And I will leave a garrison there basically indefinitely. Well, the thing is about the relationship between Killy and Tauriel is, I get the sense that they wanted us as the audience to be rooting for them, and every time Thranduil is like, "What are you doing, you fool? Like, you know, just forget about that. There are other problems." But every time that I feel as though we're supposed to... Oh, they're sieging us. But every time you find yourself agreeing with Thranduil. Right. The Prince of... Ooh... The Prince of Dol Amroth is dead. With the death of the late prince, his heir has succeeded him. The lords know not whether to find fear or comfort in this knowledge. That... Gainard? No, we're not keeping that. Fornost is assaulted. Ara Dunaim reigns supreme. The black ships are upon us, cry the people of Gondor. Many soldiers of Gondor are being kept from the front line. Seaports are beleaguered, and people fear the black ships, as well they should. For Ara Dunaim is mighty once more. The Black Númenóreans are on the rise, and their anger at previous actions against them burns in their veins. Dol Amroth are probably going to start to struggle then. That's a sign that they're probably not doing so well. Rioting in Gainard, that's fine, I don't care about that. What's this? They're going to lose Gainard. Come on, Rohan, for crying out loud. You've just retaken Edoras and you're fumbling it. They had an army there and they could have dealt with such things. Okay.
Question.
Well, what is this? Have a taste of my blade. Well, they're just going to sit here. What? Just for argument's sake, did the AI just sit there and siege forever? Is it worth me sallying out and meeting them now? For Glorfindel to have more of a presence in Fellowship of the Ring? Yeah, Glorfindel is one of those elements that people wished was a little bit more prominent. Right, well, first things first, let's get you over here, you over here. Right. Well, there's a couple of units we have here. If we want to meet them out in the field, we could do so, I think. They attack eventually. Yeah, they attack eventually, but do they wait until we take losses from starvation before they do that? Because if they do, I may as well attack now, because these units are already depleted. Just wait. Alright. I will... I've got these units over here which can come up and support them, though, to be honest with you, so it's not as if I've got nothing in store. Right, yeah, we definitely want to be continuing to recruit. What have we got here? 2 turns for that. Lothlorien sentries. Limhir. We don't need you over here, do we, really? You're going to keep moving over there. And we can't build anything else here. Well, we can build a ballista, I suppose, which would be useful for Haldia. We won't for the moment, though. Right. What is this? That is a small army, as is that. And so is that. Okay, you know what? We're gonna... Ooh, we can go right for it. How powerful is the Witch King? Substantially, I think. I think you might lose troops each turn as it goes on, but if you bring reinforcements on it... Well, yeah, I've got another sort of partial army on the way. And if they do attack, I have the advantage of sitting in Dog-Guldor and using that one choke point on the hill. And they're not going to be able to get through. Look at this. Orthanc. We are here. Right. We don't want you on fire at will. No one on fire at will. You two as well. Feanor would probably be able to defeat Sauron. Should they redesign Dog-Guldor? It's a bit too simple. Well, they have, I think Arakir, when he was talking about the Dog-Guldor battle map, they said that they might change it. So you may very well get your wish. Right, hold on a moment. Let's move forwards a little bit. If you see these, I want to let you know that I had a rough year with both my grandparents dying, my mum and dad splitting up, but watching your vids have helped a lot. I'm glad that I've been able to provide some entertainment. But yeah, I've had years in the past that have been just pretty rubbish all round. I think most people do, and just you'd be glad when they're over. And I think 2020 has definitely been that for a lot of people. It's been a real doozy so far, hasn't it? Feanor was a bit more than a normal elf. Yes, this is Feanor. His name means spirit of fire in Elven. And over here is Treebeard. He's a tree with a beard. You could tell which days Tolkien was putting a lot of thought into his names and which days he was just looking to finish early so he could go down the pub with C.S. Lewis, put it that way. Knock knock. It's a shame that Saruman himself isn't in here, really, sort of on the top of his tower watching this happen. It's a shame we don't have any Ents here either, but... needs must, I suppose. So Rumil is probably going to get comfortable in here, because I think this is probably where he's going to hang out for most of the rest of the campaign, just being our garrison commander at Orthanc, really. Treebeard does have a Cinderin name, I think. I'm sure he does, but still, it's still fun to sort of see some of the names he comes up with are very basic, and then others are sort of wrapped up in the languages that he made from the ground up. Might need to go in a bit, but we'll stay in the stream as long as I can. Well, the VOD will still be here later. One more volley from them. And there we go. Perfect. Now then. We want to be a little bit careful with this because, well, I tell you what we will do. It's not quite so easy to kite inside here. There's a lot of room, but there are obstacles to be concerned about. And let's just have a little look at what they actually have at their disposal. They've got some, what look to be sort of just regular Uruks. A lot of just regular Uruks. I assume they've got some units that are hidden. And that might be the situation, but we're going to do this the classic Lothlorien way, I think, which is, of course, to... I think now more than ever as well we do need to be careful with casualties because we're going to be cut off really from support because it looks as though Rohan are making a bit of a meal of their work. How's my 2020 been? Well, my 2020 has been... It started off okay. It started off pretty well actually, but since March when lockdown has happened, it's really just been a sort of nothing year. I wouldn't say it's been bad, but it's just sort of been empty time in many ways. But I mean, from September onwards, I think things will start to click back into gear, and hopefully that will be the case anyway. Right, we actually want to get some of our infantry forwards as well. Morgoth was too strong. The original edgelord, the OG. Alright, Orc Defenders, and that's it. I'm glad they're not pumping out their Uruk-hai yet, because they would be good against us. I think we could actually, yeah, actually, I think what we're going to do... No, we can't actually get them on the gatehouse, can we? No. Cannot use... cannot move multiple units on the walls, that's why. Okay. Well, this is what we're going to do then. This is how we're going to deal with this. We'll see if we can't get them to come a little closer, and then we will shoot. But we definitely need all of our infantry ready to surge in at a moment's notice. What if Númenor was never corrupted and sunken? Then our Pharazôn would have dragged Sauron out of Barad-dûr forcibly and dealt with him. Our Pharazôn was a hell of a dude. Ooh. Done lending pikemen. Didn't notice them shuffle their way forwards like that. Sneaky, sneaky. Well, I mean, I don't know where they're going, but they will be easy prey, unfortunately. Oh, those are Berio Yengalaith as well. Well, I tell you what, actually, you start shooting. I think we'll use our Lothlorien March Wardens on them as well, because they're going to be... It's 2 units of pikes, but... No. This is the unit I want you shooting. Or is that 1 unit of pikes that is really, really spread out? I think it is the latter, isn't it? It's like asking what if William the Conqueror had never conquered England. Why are you taking damage? Is that friendly fire? The March Wardens have got a decent amount of ammunition as well, so yeah, let's just get ready. If they come down, then they're just going to get jumped on, I think, so I think we should be fine. It's not the most efficient use of ammunition though. Could just keep doing it with that unit there. Again, it is a delicate situation we find ourselves in. We've got to be very careful not to lose unnecessary units. One day when I save up, I will donate $50. I mean, you don't need to give money that you don't have. Again, I'm certainly a big hang on a minute. I'll finish that line of thought in just a second. Right. Shoot in there. Get away from those pikes. Anyway, like I said, like you don't need to like donating money is sort of, think of it like a, it's always been one thing that I've always found slightly awkward, because I've always been of the opinion if I'm taking money I should be doing it full time. But I'm sort of looking at it now like sort of tipping a waiter, so to speak. So I mean, if people want to, then who am I to say that they shouldn't? But don't feel like don't feel compelled to do so. But if you feel as though I'm worth a tip, as it were, then that does mean a lot. Oh, they're coming down from the wall, are they? Marvellous. Right, yeah, definitely go after the Uruk-hai bodyguards. What's going on here? Oh, they're fine, okay. As for the rest of you, right now, yes, this is good.
The battle is very much in our favor. Victory will be ours.
This is a little less ideal. This unit of Gerthenians probably going to get killed to the last man, to be honest with you, but if we can get them engaged, if we can get 3 units shooting into the back of the Nazkai, then we're in a pretty good place, I think. Yes. This unit of strike infantry up here, though, is struggling. Yeah, we're going to need to give them a bit of help, actually, aren't we? You shoot at them. Oh. Fortunately, they're spreading themselves rather thin. Can we not be in melee? Can we regroup a little bit more quickly than this, please, March Wardens? Yeah, we're going to take losses by doing this, actually, which is a shame, but I don't think there's much that can be done about that. I mean, we're going to do horrendous damage to the units that are trying to fight in there. Yeah, they're being defeated now, they're being shot. We're going to lose some of our shock infantry, but it's of no concern. Are there rangers in Divide and Conquer? Sort of. There are units that have body piercing, but they're not the rangers. Like, they don't really have a class, so to speak. There is a unit that we have as Lothlorien called the Gurvileg, I think that's what they're called, that have body piercing arrows, split shot arrows, and armor piercing. But they have like only 4 volleys. They've got the range of javelins, which means they're effectively javelins. Hello, Ansari. That is actually a good point. I think looking at the what do you call it? The metrics. Most of the obviously, like all of the like primarily English-speaking countries are obviously at the top with regards to what the metrics are. So like obviously America is number 1 by quite a distance, and the UK. But of all the nations for whom English is not the like most spoken language in the nation, India is actually the most, which is interesting. And Germany is also up there as well. It's just interesting to see what nations are more interested in which aren't. There'd be no point in the British Empire being around nowadays. It would be impossible to govern so much territory. Quite so. Nowadays it's less about direct rule and more spheres of influence. That ballista crew. Right, run away. Surely all of these Orc defenders are nearly gone by now. We've lost a lot of our strike infantry doing what we've done, but such is the way of things. Right. We could take the town centre, but they would just come back and come after us anyway. So we may as well kill them to the last man. The idea of the British Empire in the modern era isn't all that popular either. Of all of the European colonial like empires, it seems like the British Empire is the one that gets dunked on the most. Although maybe that's just because I'm from the relevant nation, and so that's why it seems that way. But there's obviously the American connection as well. Saudi Arabia is one of the most powerful countries in the world. Well, let's not descend into sort of modern politics, because that way lies a rather sad tale. Orc defenders. Something I have noticed about Divide and Conquer is the units do tend to blob a little bit more so than they do under normal circumstances. Lorien warders. Right, you get out of there, actually. We're losing so many of our units. Just... yeah, you just shoot the pikes. You shoot the Uruk-hai bodyguards. Anyway, which units can defeat Palace Guard 1-to-1? There are a few. Most of the like really high quality swordsmen, I would say, because the Palace Guard, while they're a little bit more versatile because of the AP and the anti-cavalry bonus, stuff like the Noldorin Blade Masters, the Pharazim Sword Masters and Reforged, they will be sufficient to keep pushing forwards. Get away from those Nazkai. Actually, you all just turn around and get in there and fight. Right, we've got Celeborn's going to come forward now and actually give them the business as well. Shoot them. Yeah, the Gurvileg, any time we come up against a choke point, they're going to be unstoppable. Not so sure about the Gwaithir Myrdain actually, against the Palace Guard, because they're much more of an AP focused unit, and that's not really what the Palace Guard are. This is the last one we're going to have to deal with. Oh, Dunlending Pikes. Yeah, you just keep shooting them. We don't even need to engage them. When do you started playing Third Age Total War? 2015, I believe. Either that or very early in 2016. Yep. Just get them a little bit further out of the action. You can go over there as well. They're going to try and retake the town centre, I think. Oh, we still have another unit of these archers as well. Can Palace Guard defeat Harbingers? I would say probably, yeah. The Harbingers are decent, but they're not really what I would call like the... Like, all of the bodyguard units are obviously good, but like some, it's the equivalent of some being more equal than others. And the Harbingers don't really hold up next to something like the Pharazim Swordmasters or the Noldorin or the Palace Guard. Like, they're heavy swordsmen, but the thing is they're a little bit more, like, as most Dunbar units are, but they're multiple HP, but they still have that armour reliance, which the Palace Guard do get through. Celeborn still hasn't taken a single loss to these Uruk-hai bodyguards yet, which is pretty impressive. This is going to be the saving grace of this army as we sort of try to hold off against Isengard. Hopefully this breaks the back of the problem though. Haven Guard are better than the Harbingers in Reforged, yes, I would suggest. They've always been very strong though. Right now we're sort of fully surrounded at this point.
Our men no longer command the castle.
We will in a bit though. Yeah, they're done for. What's better, the Kindred or Watchers in Reforged? They're 4 different things. The split shots are definitely useful in a siege, but I personally prefer the Watchers because they're also your best infantry unit as Lothlorien in Reforged. So it just gives you that extra dimension. We're going to get more friendly fire than not.
Our men are in command of the castle. Our men no longer command the castle.
Right, yeah, they're done for now. Okay. Again, a few more losses than I would have liked, but that seems to be the way of things at the moment. Like, Isengard definitely put up more of a fight than Dog-Guldor's basic units, don't they? But whenever Celeborn gets involved, that's when the gloves come off. It must be their general that's left, right? Yeah, there he is, look. He actually managed to escape as well. We'll deal with him.
The battle is very much in our favour. Victory will be ours.
How much health has this man got? He's got more health than Saruman had. Pretty damning indictment of him. I mean, we're going to win anyway. There we go.
This is a clear victory.
Maybe it was because he had like the good fortune of being up against some of the more basic units, and he just managed to somehow avoid being up against the Berio Iengalaith. Right, this should be Isengard in significant trouble now. Occupy the settlement, yes, look at that. Right, now I think we're probably going to end up losing Foldberg and Gynard, which is a bit of a problem. It means we may actually end up needing to send down reinforcements, but I think that is everything. There's still a fair amount to be getting on with here, to be honest. Yeah, we don't have anything of that, so that I think is that. I'm actually going to save it here because end turns are a little bit more likely to crash the game now. The Berio a damaging spear unit? Or, well, they're both, basically. The Berio Iengalaith have got a nice attack, but they're also... I think their total defense value is 33, which for Divide and Conquer makes them one of the toughest units to kill. They obviously have the Spear Malice, though. Every spear unit has that in Medieval 2. But it doesn't really affect them too badly, to be honest with you, because they're so good that... Oh, they didn't take it. Or did they? No, I think they did actually, didn't they? Yes. So Celeborn is currently marooned in Orthanc, but that's fine. I'm hoping without their capital they'll start to struggle, because like Rohan with Edoras back, they should be able to make something happen. The Uruk Tide. Isengard has fallen. The Tower of Orthanc and all its secrets have been stolen from Saruman, but the White Wizard will not stand for it. Well, he won't be standing for anything. He's dead. All his research and power has been gathered here, and he is loath to let this humiliation stand. Now the minions of the White Hand gather around him, prepared to form a great assault upon their own fortress. That's a good point. Yeah, they get Orthanc overrun. Isengard could not withstand the might of its enemies. Yeah, so they get stacks, don't they? They get... men. Right.
Your orders, as you wish.
Maybe mercenaries. Units available for hire. No one. There's no mercenaries here. That's a shame. Right, we might have to start redirecting units, to be honest with you, down this way. A spy. That's not really going to be helpful to us at this point. He's already moved. Right. You go in there. You start heading in the same direction. What can we build in here? Communal farming is a possibility. One turn away from the archery range there. We cannot build anything other than a ballista in there, so yeah, let's go for something in here. Could go for a stables, a barracks, a practice range. Would allow us to build some more archers, which I think would be useful. Ballista maker, an armory. We'll go for a practice range in here, I think. I think you have to jump a general out and see if there's an army. See if there's any next to the watchtower option. Oh, right. Right, well, that being the case. Let's see. Recruitment, where are we? Construction. No, what am I doing? Where was watchtowers again? was over here, wasn't it? No, that's Rumil, that's why. I want this guy. Cannot construct a watchtower here. There are currently no mercenaries to recruit in the region. Okay. Fair enough. Maybe we can... If we send Rumil out over here... Ah, there is another unit. Okay, let's go for this. Hire them. So now we have some cell swords, which will help us, to be fair. They're a decent unit in melee, as we have learned. And we do have a choke point in Orthanc. Like, I'm not too worried. Like, as long as we can choke point it up, we should be fine. Right. Rohan need to start pulling their weight again. They did well to take Edoras back, but now they need to take Gainard and Helm's Deep, and then Isengard will sort of continue to be in trouble. That will be the order of the day, I think. Garithinen, you go this way as well. Can we build anything in here? We can build roads, which actually is going to be useful because we need to keep moving through here at an increased rate. It's a small army, this really, isn't it? We're going to have to rely on the choke point if we, if anything. Okay. Isengard may very well have, they should anyway, have a garrison building constructed, which we should usurp. Waiting to see Lothlorien on defence must be good. Well, yeah, it should be. It should be what Lothlorien are best at, to be honest with you. But we haven't had a chance to see it as of yet because we've had to be constantly on the move forwards. There are Khazad-dûm. Khazad-dûm and Moria have been locked in pretty much stalemate, but that suits me, to be honest with you. As long as Moria don't start gaining more power, I'm absolutely fine with that. What's up, y'all? Hello, Jack. Ah, here we go. And so, we shall fight on Dog-Guldor. This actually is the first part where we've seen custom settlements so far, both Orthanc and Dog-Guldor. Oh, I can see super chats now. They might have updated that. Thank you, Jack. That's very kind of you. Which units can defeat Nazgûls one-on-one? Well, if you're talking about one unit model to one unit model for infantry, nothing. Like, they are the best. But it becomes a little bit trickier when you're talking about entire units, because individually they are very powerful, but they're at their worst when you send them in on their own. Right, they are coming this way, so yeah, we definitely need here to be... Right. This is going to be a tough one, I think. We have archers, sufficient archers to do a lot. Yeah, we have some elven defenders, which, that's nice. They will definitely be first up on the chopping block because we've got some decent... We've still got some good spears, which means we can... we've got everything back. Okay. No, don't be so trigger happy. Right, hold on. Positioning is going to be everything here because we don't want to be putting most of our arrows into the dirt. We want our elven defenders at the front. We want our spears just in behind, ready to move in shield wall if they will listen, which they won't. Classic medieval suit. Okay. Can Mithril Guard defeat them? Hopefully Haldir doesn't perish. Quite so. Haldir has been more or less the MVP of the campaign so far because he's been the one that's been, well, I mean, I guess you could say Celeborn since he's... Oh, for crying out loud. Stop. Stop wasting arrows. That is our saving grace in this battle. I would assume they've still got trash. Wargs are going to do them no good whatsoever. In fact, that's quite a lot of wargs. Dog-Guldor host, no problem dealing with Dog-Guldor host. They're just not going to be good enough in a choke point. Orc maulers will do some damage, but it's not going to be enough, really, is it? And then we can send up some units to reinforce on literally our very next turn. There we go. And then everything else we can commit forward later as and when is needed. Ents classify as trolls though. Right. Okay, I think we're in a position where they cannot go up that incline. So I think we should be good. Got our Elven Defenders, the old Sword Quendi model. We'll just move them back a little bit.
Our enemy's ladders have reached our curses. The enemy are battering down our gates.
Wargs are bad in sieges if they're only a choke point. Yeah, any cavalry is bad in a siege like this, really.
Their eyes. The enemy's ram is through
Go on, send the maulers in for... Oh, no, 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 I don't want this movie showing up.
all will be lost.
Bloody game. Yeah. It would be pretty typical if Haldir refused to shoot, no matter where I put him. This should be perfect, though.
If we continue like this, we will smash
Oh, for crying out loud. Come on, for Christ's sake. Like, I have my spears in shield wall and they still just push right through. Okay. Well, I would certainly hope that they rout quickly, especially with that happening. Is that the end of those? Right. Right, you get back now. Yeah. Morale-wise, this is going to be a horrendous situation for them to be in. All too easy. Myrdain or Hammers of Gundabad? No, Gwaithir Myrdain by miles. Hammers of Gundabad aren't even a bodyguard tier unit. Alright, they can't use their ammunition from there, which is a shame, but it's not really the best position to be in archer-wise, but no matter. We're in a position where at this point they've got nothing really that they can do. Try to snipe Orc generals. They're rout happy without their general. Well, I mean, in this case it was just sort of chance more than anything that we were able to snipe them out. See if we can't get into a position where we can use our archers a little bit more efficiently. Positioning, I always remember positioning on this map was always a pain in multiplayer. And obviously that will continue to be the case here. Ooh, maulers though. All too easy to shoot them. Nope, they still can't shoot. Maybe it's because these units are a little bit too close. If we just move them up just a little bit. Just basic spears doing the best. Do I play Apex Legends? No, I don't. I don't remember the Milky Way YouTuber. Yes, now they can shoot. That was the issue. They're still in there? Oh, they are, yes, they are. My Gurthinen. Their morale shocking. Yeah, look at that. Look, Dog-Guldor hosts breaking. Orc maulers. Look at that rout. Damn, son. Right, you know what? Just charge in there. Go forth and crush them. Well, actually, they're not all going to rout, are they? Yeah, go back out from there. Don't mind the unit of 6 being in there, per se. Lothlorien warders. I'm not sure cunning is the word I would use to describe these Haldir's just having to take pot shots where he can. Look at us slowly move down the hill though. It's like mowing a lawn, really. And this, like, it does go to show, actually, the interesting difference in quality between the Dog-Guldor units at their base and the Isengard units, because Isengard have been much, much more of a threat to us, whereas Dog-Guldor's basic stuff has barely scratched even our basic spears, whereas Isengard's will do something. But yeah. I think actually we're probably in a position now where we can just yeah, we just shoot them, I think. What if we went into fire at will? Fire at will might be the way to go. So much of this on the front line is routing, but they're still just standing there, which is great for us, obviously. And a lot of this has also been done by elven defenders. Yes, there we go. Actually, yes, we can maybe start shooting at you lot over there. Get back a little bit further. The fact that we can do this to Dog-Guldor is very, very nice. Izzy drops more F-bombs. Scouts does the least amount of cursing. Yeah, a few slip out for me. Not going to deny that. Yeah, it's all too easy. Times 6 speed. This is the way to go. I can't shoot them apparently, which is a shame. They're routing in place. Those wargs just charged in, which is a terrible, terrible error for them. These elven defenders have done a good job. Who cares about swearing? YouTube cares about swearing. Unfortunately. Okay, let's see here. We've got our swordsmen. Let's get them down here at this point, I think. Orthanc, yeah, charge in there. You continue to shoot at them. Yeah, it's been a dominant performance by our spears. We're definitely well set up for fighting these basic Dog-Guldor units. Used to watch Pixelated Apollo. They're done for. This is the end of them. In fact, you know what? Oh, that wasn't the right one. You know what? We're going to continue. because I want to finish all of them off. Let's just go in with everything at this point, I bet. I think. Let's just turn you off fire at will, actually, because you might get some friendly fire. Yes, this is what I like to see. This is the type of content I like to see. Apollo can't pronounce some of the names. Well, to be fair to Apollo, some of the names I struggle with as well. Like for Silmarillion, especially, like, you know, J Monster told me how to say them beforehand. Otherwise, I would have made a. I would have bodged the Tollingawahoth names, certainly. Is that the end? Is there more? Oh, yeah, of course there is. Haldir doing the business yet again. Dog-Guldor will remain ours. Surely this is the end. Those Orc Maulers are holding up pretty well. There we go. 52 lost. Most of those as well were the Elven defenders, which of course I don't really need to worry too much about. And that should send them scurrying back into the forest for a little while longer. All that remains, hopefully we can continue to hold Orthanc as well. I'm a little bit worried about that because Isengard have hoovered up the settlements behind us once again. It's a large ransom, but we're not going to do that. We're going to make sure that they're weak. Yeah, look at this now, look. They're coming forwards. We definitely need to take advantage of Isengard as a settlement now. Take advantage of Orthanc's gatehouse. They're probably going to have siege towers as well, though, which is a bit of a concern because Isengard is a little bit more difficult to defend. Depending on how large that army is, I might go out and meet them in the field, but if it's one of those big stacks, new mission, they really want me to establish diplomatic ties with Moria. Relations improved with the Dunlandings. Well, there we go.
Elven warriors. Swiftly, elves.
Maybe they can be reasoned with after all.
Be vigilant. Yes, my lord.
Right.
Elven warriors.
You two move up there.
Elven warriors.
You head in there as well. Because Haldir's army needs support, certainly. Right, this. We need the the Builder's Guild House. That's a lot of money, though. Can we build anything in here? We can. We can indeed. Some Lothlorien March Wardens to Gorvaleg. We can't recruit them just for the moment, which is a shame, but we can recruit March Wardens now. And we are making bank. Right, a Dry Charn. Still can't build anything in you. Build another unit of warders though, which we do want.
Yes, my lord.
Rockberg. Dirt paths. That's useful, to be honest. We need the basic infrastructure to move around our realm. Right. I mean, there's no real getting away from this, is there? Oh, that's a terrible army. What are they thinking? That's small. That's tiny. When's the barracks event? The barracks event has already happened. That's why we've got access to Lothlorien March Wardens in the first place.
Yes, my lord.
So we have access to...
Tomorrow's journey.
Well, we will have access to better stuff now. Right, we need to... We've still got 2,000 that we can use for something. I don't know why... Well, I know why he's in this settlement, actually. It's because this one is culturally incompatible with us, isn't it? Right, we're building an armory there. I just got to make sure... Right, okay. We can build a leather worker or a ballista maker in here, and that is, I think, it, building-wise. But we need more units out on the field. 3 turns to recruit March Wardens. Lothlorien Warders. For the time being, I'm actually just going to continue to build the basic stuff just so that we can get some mass out onto the world map. Because our basic stuff is still good enough to make stuff happen. As soon as we've sort of broken the Isengard siege over here, and in fact, we can see there from that green line that Rohan have taken Gainard. I think they have? No, Isengard is still there. So why is that green then? How come? That doesn't make any sense, does it? Yeah, Helm's Deep is still under Isengard control. Weird. Anyway, what have we got here? The Orthanc Stone. The Palantir, yeah. So the, yeah, that's, I mean, we'll keep that, obviously. Do we have the thing? Chieftain's Hall? Public Health bonus? No, that's not it. Foundry. Elven Plate? Brawler's Hall? That's useless to me. Ballista Maker? Useless to me. Public order bonus due to law. Right, let's see here. Hunting Lodge, improved food production, practice range, construction window for the settlement. Yeah, they don't have an armory over here actually, which is a bit of a concern. In fact, it's enough of a concern that I'm going to build one myself. Ents! Hello there. It's a shame we can't construct them right now. I don't think territory lines update if the Fog of War is covering the settlement. I've been caught out by that before. Yeah, I guess. But that is Rohan's colour, because it was my territory before, which is why it's quite strange. Because you'd expect it to still be Isengard's colours, because that's what we last saw over there. Hopefully Rohan can make it work, though. We're going to build an armory here, and hopefully we can build some Ents from Isengard soon.
My lord.
Then we can start to make the dream work. Right, what's this? Hey, look, there's Lurtz. Cool. Right, well, I think for now you've made an error coming over here. We've definitely got to make sure we squash Isengard's small stack so they can't build up into a big one. Ooh. Well, I mean, this isn't really the sort of terrain I was hoping for, but no matter. Doesn't really matter anyway. With an army of this size, we're just going to shoot them. So we're just going to give them the old 1-2. Right, the ballista is just something we're going to put over here and not have on fire at will. And all of our infantry can be over here. Right, perfect. Are those wargs? I think they are, aren't they? Ooh, how interesting. I'd like to see them try and do anything at all against Celeborn's unit. In fact, I'd like to see them try anything when I can just last samurai them into oblivion. Apparently the last alliance lasted ages, not just the one battle in Lord of the Rings. In real life, your army in Isengard would have been cut off from supply lines. Well, I mean, true, but in real life, I would argue that Isengard probably would not have been able to muster a force to take the territory I took, because I carved through them. In real life as well, Isengard would probably be in turmoil because Saruman is dead, and he, in Lord of the Rings, obviously he is... Without his leadership, Isengard would have descended into just being a rabble that would have been easily broken up. There's absolutely no chance that someone like Lurtz would have been able to lead Isengard. But he's only their faction heir, to be fair. Look at them try and flank around here, look. Deal with the archers first and foremost. Marauders are a concern, but not so much of a concern that we go forward there. Ooh, my March Wardens are getting shot. Oh, these are just entirely Uruk-hai archers. Okay, well in that case, does anyone think Dol Amroth should get an aesthetic makeover? I haven't seen some of their units, but I mean, I think from what I can tell, Dol Amroth is one of those factions which is always going to look good. Like the Swan Knights are always just a real crowd pleaser. Right, where are my cell swords? There they are. Go Athenan. Yeah, here we go. And then we can engage the archers in melee with our cell swords. Right, Rumil, you get out of there because you're getting carved up by those archers. This territory is odd, to be honest with you, this terrain. Probably end up taking more losses than I would have liked, actually. Again, it's a real... That's the thing that I would say I don't like about playing as Lothlorien, is the fact that you're heavily encouraged to not take any casualties as much as you can because of the way elves work. But your armour levels at the start are so poor that you have to take casualties sometimes. Even basic archers are enough to give you the business. Which is a shame, but... what are you going to do, right? Yeah, that's them gone. And push forwards.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
You go over here like so, Caliborn. Yeah, we got him now. On the run. Now it's just a case of how difficult do they want to make it for me? Very is what I'm guessing. Right, and actually stop. There we go. Okay. Harlinden units need a makeover, Forlinden as well. Mithlund units look fantastic. We want to continue because we certainly want to kill as many of them as we possibly can here. There are the Berio Yengalith. Yeah, we got them now. So this little stack, most of our casualties will probably be healed anyway, and we can slowly start playing whack-a-mole with these Isengard armies. There go the sellswords. A real thorn in my side earlier in the campaign, but they're now redeeming themselves. Just the one more dude. You can catch him, go on. Oh, come on, there was only a tree. You're supposed to be the wood elves. I can still see him. What are you doing? Why are you zigzagging? Classic Medieval 2 pathfinding. Am I going to have to get the sellswords to do it for you? I think I am, aren't I? That's a different guy, I think, but he's going to make it to the red line. There we go. He didn't in the end. 24 losses. It's not the end of the world. Like, again, stopping archers from being available to them if they were to besiege Orthanc is more important, I think. If I can get Caliborn back up to Caras Galadon, I think what I will do is try and fire the Sylvan Alliance script. If Rohan's pushing back against Isengard now, which it looks like they are,
Stay in the trees.
Execute them all. Yep. There we go.
Your orders.
Isengard is happy once more. You have already moved. Keep forgetting what I've done exactly in the course of a turn. Leather worker. Actually, you know what? Yes, we will build a leather worker. And over here, we will do nothing because we can't do anything. Okay, once again. Again, I'm a little bit paranoid. Like, if nothing much happens in a turn, I won't save, but like because of the ability for the game to crash. Killing routing units with melee has always felt off in Total War game. Well, I mean, we don't have a choice. Elven units are swifter. I don't know what Anduin and Khazad-dûm want of me, but they clearly want to. They want something. Unless they're like, it looks as though they're passing messages into Erui. Right, come on, Thranduil. You've been sending out armies, but accomplishing shockingly little. How much do I earn from YouTube? Probably about the same as like a part-time job, really, which is why it works out really quite nicely. Because it means that I don't have to get like a part-time job alongside my university studies at a place like Primark. Well, another small army for us to just utterly destroy. You're too kind, Isengard. A candidate for adoption. You. Sure, why not? Oh, and he just pops right into our army that's in Isengard. That's actually quite nice. So it means we've got another free upkeep well garrisoned. Another 37 Elbereth Sentinels. Don't mind if I do. Wait. You lot. Get into Dog-Guldor. Right, we can build something else in Dog-Guldor now. A Master Builder's Hall. What sort of settlement details? Melkor's Shadow. Is there a faster way to get rid of the Melkor's Shadow culture? Because this is fairly obnoxious, to be honest with you. It's taking so long for it to tick down. Right, anyway. What do I think any faction needs? Do I think any faction in Reforged needs an aesthetic makeover? Let me think about that for a sec. I'll get back to you on that one, because I'm not sure. Right, well, we'll build a Master Builder's Hall there. Army. Lothlorien Warders, yes. We just want to be building units at this point. And I think that's pretty much all we're going to be able to do in terms of money this turn. We need to continue to move down here.
Yes, stopping here.
And then we will potentially auto-resolve this one, depending on what they do. Yeah, that's... Oh yeah, 6... You were trying to siege Orthanc with 16 dudes. No.
Our lands will be safe once more. Follow me.
16 soldiers laying siege to Orthanc. Right, anyway. You... Yeah, we'll keep going down this way with you. And with you as well. Not really sure what I'm going to be doing with them for the moment. I want to get Celeborn back to Caras Galadhon as quickly as I possibly can. I think culture conversion is a waiting game outside of art galleries. Yeah, you've already got the buildings that convert culture as much as we can. Right, you go this way. Because we want to continue to send some units up here. Because what I want to do with Haldir is begin the process of expanding more quickly. And I think that is all we need to do. Northern Dunedain is still clinging on, apparently, as are Anduin. Although I think Anduin's only clinging on, to be honest, because of the work that Erebor are putting in up there, because Erebor are constantly sending stacks up to Gundabad. See, look, they're sort of turning to face my town as if they want something from me. About that question of mine. What was your question, Jasdeep? Maybe put watchtowers further east. I will build watchtowers as I move towards the settlements, yes, Owen. What are you doing, Dog-Guldor? Nothing. A whole lot of nothing, that's what I thought. Still a lot of Isengard activity over on this side of the Isen. Maybe that's because they're getting beaten back by Enedwaith as well, which, without their capital and being attacked on multiple fronts by Rohan, Enedwaith and potentially Gondor, Fornost assaulted, Northern Dunedain are really just sort of... Right. You continue down this way.
As you wish. Yes, I shall continue to...
Yeah, Enedwaith, look at this. Enedwaith, I think, are actually going forth against Dunland, which is good to see. Very good to see, in fact. Go this way. What we need is going to build up a little bit of a unit, and then we'll strike out with Celeborn in a couple of units, because as soon as that armory is done, Rumil and a hefty force over here should be sufficient, to be honest with you, to hold Orthanc fairly indefinitely, especially if we can train Ents at a later date. Like, they don't stand a chance of trying to bust through that. What is this? What is this? You're actually coming out here and disrespecting me like this.
Yes, my lord. Take it for the elves.
Don't think you quite understand. Actually, wait a second.
My lord. Elven warriors. Swiftly, come, my brother. Elves.
Yeah, now you're running away, aren't you?
Protect the elven lands. Take it for the elves. Send them back to their underworld.
I think Isengard has decided to go all in on recapturing Orthanc. You really upset the AI. Well, they can try, but they're not going to succeed. If they do that as well, it'll give Rohan and Enedwaith all the opening they need to just eat the rest of their territory. Right, let's see here. Getting that free unit of Elbereth Sentinels in there as well was very nice, very timely. Another unit of archers. There's only 30 of them, but... well, just over 30 of them really, but... right. Dog-Guldor as well. We've got a unit of Cav, which is really good. Want to be a little bit careful about wargs, of course, but... spears... right. Right. You will have over here like so. Don't want this on. We don't want swordsmen back there either. So yeah, like we could do with a couple more archers in this army at this point, to be honest with you, because it's just Haldir and 2 other units. But we've got some more infantry over here now, which is really excellent. Yeah, they're going to scurry off into the woods. And yeah, they do have wargs, which again is unfortunate. It means we're just going to have to take this nice and slow, because if we send forward our archers with wargs there, chances are they'll charge into me while I'm on ×6 speed, and that would be a disaster. Anyway, Isengard troops frantically trying to recapture Orthanc now. Feel like the Elb Sentinels are a bit meh for a bodyguard. Well, I mean, individually, one of the Elbereth Sentinels is better than one of Haldir's Galatharim archers. The difference is, though, Haldir's got more men in the unit, whereas the Elbereth Sentinels are obviously smaller. But I mean, the point is more the fact that we got some extra units where we wouldn't be able to train anything under normal circumstances. So, right. You over there. Come over here as well. Girthinin. Get some swordsmen over on the flank with the cav. Speed things up, because this is the game that the AI always likes to play. Like, you're already gone, like, you know what's going to happen. It's over for you. Just keep an eye on those wargs though, because as soon as they decide to lurch forward, we need to respond to them in the appropriate manner. We now have something that we can use to more efficiently chase units down as well. To be fair though as well, Dog-Guldor, like that assault on Dog-Guldor that happened last turn is the first time that Dog-Guldor have actually directly tried to recapture their capital. Spears? Oh, for crying out loud. Mirkwood Hunters. Their archers are so annoying as well, because my archers are so poor in terms of armour that they know it's going to do damage to me, but you know what? We're going to shred them up quickly. We're going to bust them up. Ooh. Yeah, you go this way, you go this way. If their wargs are moving forward, then get our cavalry ready to roll in. Yeah, this is going to be nasty for them. Right. I'm actually going to start shooting at the wargs now, because the our cavalry is easily going to be able to get a nice charge here. Oh, come on, like, you can shoot over their unit. Like, their unit is tiny and you're doing that looping shot. Less of that, mate. Ooh, actually, okay. They did turn around there. Yes, good.
Victory will be ours.
Fire in. Get a nice view of the cavalry charge here. And there they go. Carving through there. Very nice indeed. The wargs are broken. And they are actually winning in that fight there. You keep shooting at the wargs. You move across there. Get a single unit of swords actually over here. Yeah, there goes the Dog-Guldor host, routing as soon as the Girthinin get into melee with them. He is so annoying. Who's annoying? He's a classic now. Someone is annoying and a classic. I can only see the last 3 messages in the setup that I have at the moment. Dustin. Ah, Dustin. It's me. No, we're going to run them down now. Easy as you like. Dustin is someone who is often in the comments. I don't mind Dustin. Do you think any faction... Oh yeah, I was going to say yes. The aesthetic makeover question. I'd be tempted to say no, to be honest. I think a lot of them look pretty good, to be honest.
This is a clear victory.
Let's see. Khazad-dûm, I like them. Erebor, I like their look. Any of the Orc factions? No, because all of them are fairly appropriate. We only lost 30 men, that's good. Lothlorien is going to be sort of a dark blue colour scheme, a little bit less heavily armoured than the other two. I would say if you wanted to, like, if you looked at what Thorin was wearing, sort of towards the start of the Hobbit trilogy, I would imagine, like, that's the kind of aesthetic you can expect from Lothlorien. Which I'm on board for.
We'll ruin these trees no longer.
Execute them. Enemy camp sacked.
We've defeated their wretched armies. Come, my brothers.
My lord.
Back into Dog-Guldor. And what else have we got? Right, we could build something else here. 3,000. 3,000 coins. Well, I think the thing to do there then is to go for some March Wardens, isn't it? Yeah, we've already moved them. Okay. Again. And we move forwards. Yeah, look at Rohan now, sending stacks forward. This is what I like to see. Is your device custom made? Do you mean my PC? Because I mean, do you know if Elves Vassirion will get a legendary company? Yes, they will, I think. In fact, I think J Monster has talked about that in one of his videos. I know that Doriath have had theirs added. The Falathrim have had a new unit added. But yes, Assyrian will. My PC is, I guess you could say it's custom. I mean, I built it. So, I mean, if that's what you mean by custom made, yeah, I didn't buy it, like, off a shop. Legendary company in Silmarillion is like a... Ooh, is that a... Looks like we're going to have a big fight here. Well, they're sieging. It's like a sort of... It's the equivalent of a regiment of renown from Warhammer. Haradrim tribes. Kand are still alive, so I mean, if they did go the good path, which is guild improvement, Great Dance Guild. How much money do I have? 5,000? Yeah. Caer Andros is under siege again. Right, what have we got going on here? You are coming down here. Right, we'll keep Lothlorien's units there for the time being. Right, what have you got going on? No, not the... Ooh, they've got some Orthanc sentries. They've got some crossbows in there. I'd feel much more comfortable about taking on that army with the advantage of the defence that Orthanc provides for us. Having said that, if more join the fray, that will be less than ideal. Let's go over here. What have they got going on? Foldberg has got a very small garrison, to say the least. Why don't the humans breed like orcs in Middle-earth? Right, let's have a look and see what's going on over here.
Stopping here.
This is Dunland land. Okay. Rockburg. Can we build anything here? A vineyard? Or vineyard, I should say. Building income plus 40. We've already built something in Caras Galadon now. Could build a blacksmith, which is tempting actually, because we can really start pumping out some high quality units. And in fact, that's what we're going to do. It's exactly what we're going to do. Lim here. Army. You're there. Okay. You go in there for the time being. Okay, we'll see what transpires. If you were to take the English teacher's approach, it's because the principle that Poorer peoples breed more out of necessity. They're still giving me sort of non-relevant proposals, I suppose. They're just sort of hanging around there still. Like, again, this is not great for Khazad and Anduin, because it means one of their limited diplomats is tied up just in this loop of doing nothing. Imagine if there were democracies in Middle-earth. Well, the Orcs would win every vote, wouldn't they? Majority rule. Ooh. What are you doing? Where are you going? Dunlarak besieged. The main city of the Dunish king is now besieged by numerous attackers. The tribesmen must defend their homeland at all cost, otherwise they will either be enslaved or slaughtered. None of these choices are acceptable for the proud people of Dunland. If they fail, their beloved city will be plundered, its halls burnt, and the sacred monuments destroyed. This act of war can't remain unpunished, so the levies and huntsmen have to take their weapons and show to their enemies their courage and strength. So yeah, Enedwaith are just battering Dunland at this point, clearly.
Yes, my lord. Yes.
Right. Can I? I'm going to try and get in the way. Oh, that's nothing actually. That's nothing to be concerned about. Right, Isengard. We've got this army here. Yeah, we're going to be fine against. Like, I mean, it's a fairly decent force we're facing off against, but they'll be fine.
Yes, my lord.
But can we? Yes, we can.
Ready, elves? Onward!
Set up an ambush.
Come on!
Right, we want to be a little bit careful here. As soon as we can make a break for it with Celeborn and some of his boys, that's what we're going to do.
Our movements.
And go back up this way. As for what's happening over here, he's in there still. This is a unit that we're sending across to here.
Onward. At ease.
This, we need more archers to the front line. This, we've got a unit of Gorthinin that we're going to be sending up here.
Onward.
Apparently we're just going to leave it there for the time being. Right. Yes, I think what we're going to do is we're going to try and cheese it. We're going to try and block him. The Uruk-hai are the upper class. Love from India. Thank you, Sukrit. We were just talking about that earlier, actually. Right, what's going on here? I'm really honestly thinking about sallying out and meeting this. It won't be pretty though, will it? No, we're gonna stay. We're gonna hold our ground. See what Isengard do. That could be a problem, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. The Democratic People's Republic of Mordor. Barracks event is anywhere from turn 60 to 64, I believe. We've just passed it. They're actively promoting interracial coexistence. Sauron's rank discriminate against no one who's willing to serve him. It's a good point. Aha, here we go.
Fight to the end.
The second Battle of Orthanc. Sauron just wanted equality for all along. Right. Okay, what have we got going on here? Right. Well, the thing to do, I think, is just to form up around the town centre, because the wall there's too much of it to cover, really. Plus, we can use our ballista more effectively from back here. And based on how the AI normally approach these things, yes, so you back here like so, you will do the same. Got our new general over here, who looks a little bit gormless in that portrait, I'm not going to lie. but we won't hold that against him too much. We also won't go into fire at will straight away. We've got our sellswords back here. We've got our elven defenders, which again are going to be the unit which we utilise a little bit more aggressively. And you will go back over here as well. Right then. Caliborn with his 3 gold chevrons. Absolute filth. Actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to get ready to move you in and sort of be a sacrificial lamb as everyone else shoots their payload. Oh, for crying out loud, come on.
The enemy are battering down the gates.
How is that not an area where we can deploy? Never mind. Yes, that will do. And you.
The siege tower has reached our walls.
As for you, you come over here actually. Layering the amount of punishment that we can mete out upon them.
The enemy's ram has breached the gates.
Are Englishmen into beers? Yes, as a population we most certainly are.
The walls are no longer ours. The enemy have taken them.
You over here. Yep. Fire at will. Oh, they've got wargs as well. Bloody hell. Gonna need to shoot them down. I'm actually going to charge him with Caliborn early. One thing they definitely did improve in later titles is the responsiveness of your units. It's a little bit slow in Medieval 2. Right, Uruk-hai archers.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Going that way. Right. What's that up on the wall over there? Uruk-hai raiders? Yeah, nothing to be concerned about. Elven defenders. Actually, you lot just charge in. Why not? Go after the Uruk-hai archers. Oof. Domed.
Without him, his troops will lose their will to fight.
Stalin Witch King. Oh, actually, yeah, those Orthanc sentries need to be tied up. Tied up in melee, most certainly. Elbereth sentries, what are you doing? Ah. Oh, that's not good. Although they will probably die very quickly, to be honest with you. Another wave on the way. Ooh, that's not good either. Yes, shoot into the side of them. We're using Caliborn more as an infantry unit this time around, I think. Needs must. They are broken. Magnificent. Right, remount your artillery piece, if you please. Or do you not want to? Is that not on the agenda for today? Well, actually, no, you go over here, because we can shoot into the side over here, can't we? No, actually, we don't want the March Wardens in melee. They're not really up to the task in the same way that Caliborn is. Let's get our sellswords in there as well. Lothlorien warders. Would the Orcs of Mirkwood be the Viet Cong? I guess they would. Actually, yeah, shoot at the orc sentries. They have remounted their artillery now. Good. And you shoot in there as well. Get our kite on. Yeah, they don't stand a chance against Celeborn. He is just too strong for the likes of them.
Battle is very much in our favor. Victory will be ours.
Ar-Pharazôn. Gotta love Ar-Pharazôn's sense of drama with his golden hat.
Only half the enemy force.
You just keep moving actually into the front there. Keep firing at them. The Albereth Sentinels can continue to shoot back there as well. You move over this way a bit. You move over there. Yeah, this is going pretty swimmingly actually. The mass rout has really done quite well for us. Right, you can turn around and shoot into their backs now actually. March Wardens. Elven Defenders. Are they routing just forever now, or will they come back? The General is gone, so maybe that's it for them. Gandalf is Churchill confirmed, unwilling to surrender. Love your commentating. Thank you, Sukrit. We'll just continue to kite around with them. Dealing with those Uruk-hai raiders as they come. They can just charge out and deal with them as they so choose. Albereth Sentinels can turn around. Sellsword's doing well on the front line. Oh no, don't go that way actually. Actually, you know what? Yeah, tighten up the formation a bit. Don't get caught. Please, not like this. Well done. Just this one unit refusing to break. And then we'll just draw them back into all of the archers. Get a real firing line ready to shoot. Anything returning? Nope. They're going to run for the hills. Tails betwixt their legs. Ah, good. Again, look at that. I'm on. No, there we go. Okay. Orcs fight for equality. I mean, they actively don't. Like, that's one thing they don't. Like, orcs always want to be the ones in charge. This should be the end of them now. This is going to be a brutal volley. They are reasonably sturdy though, aren't they, the Uruk-hai raiders? Hate to see what the Uruk-hai infantry are like. There we go. That should be that, shouldn't it? Unless some of them did come back. I somehow doubt it. Oh, there's some archers over there. Very well then. Times 6 speed it is. Actually, we don't want to lose this unit, do we? What else we got? Sellswords? Sure, get out there. Do your thing. And you, actually. Earn your stripes in melee. No, you're not. Look at that, look. They managed to duke. Who would be the Genghis Khan of Middle-earth. Whoever the leader of... Maybe Rune would be more appropriate, actually, because they're more of a... The Variags are a little bit less well-defined. Trump is Denethor. It's an interesting take. Okay. Well, that's the end of that then. Isn't it? Yes? No? Oh, there's still units over there. Okay. Hold on just a second. Anyway, it'll give me a chance to just look at the chat while these guys go away. Trump is Grima. Movie Denethor. Yeah, Denethor's a lot more impressive in the books, isn't he? I think they probably did him dirty in the movies, to be honest. That's another area, actually, where the original trilogy maybe doesn't quite do its thing. I mean, obviously Denethor has his not-so-good characteristics anyway, but they never really went... Like, honestly, the Gondorians in general, the only one that didn't, in the non-extended editions especially, that didn't get harsh treatment was Faramir. Because in the non-extended editions, Boromir just looks like an impulsive tool. But you don't really get to see any part of him being the character that he is. Genuinely is. Which is weird. Morgoth listened to the Song of Ainur while writing the Communist Manifesto.
Our foe is utterly vanquished.
Only 87 losses there. Yeah, we should be good. I think fairly indefinitely from here. If Isengard keep throwing stacks at us like that, then there's really no excuse for Rohan to not get in here and do their thing. Who would be the Kim Jong-un of Middle-earth? Who makes threats that they keep getting away with but can't actually back up in Middle-earth? Because that would be your answer. And there we go. Ooh, that's not good. Oh, come on, Rohan. Don't fall apart now. Like I've actually done everything for you. I took back the Westfold and then you couldn't capitalise on it. I've taken Orthanc from Isengard and they're still giving you the work. Western Moria besieged, Khazad-dûm continuing to do their thing. Mission failed. Faction announcements. Lord Celeborn, Conqueror of Isengard. Unit recruitment. March Wardens. Do I really need Celeborn at the back here for... We already have a... Or do we have a... I think we have a thing there that we can do. Anyway. Yes, we want some more archers. He's there.
Elven warriors.
You enter the settlement.
For the light.
Onward!
Go this way.
Excellent.
Dog-Guldor, what can we build for you? Builder's Guild House probably wouldn't go amiss. Public baths. Public health bonus. Retraining costs, which will actually be useful. We can't build anything over here yet, so there's no point in us building recruitment centres. 3,000? Sure, why not? Why not, I say? We're already building something in Karas Galadon, aren't we? Yes. Blacksmith, units. This, Lorien archers. Sounds good to me. And over here, we can't really build anything else for the time being. We're alternating between something. Goblin King. What does your dog like to bark at? Anything. Any noises, really. was I doing? What is this? It's only 3.
Elven warriors. Come on.
Yeah. We're going to hide behind Redwald here. He's going to earn his keep. Actually do something useful for once.
Without question.
Go on, Rohan. You can do it. I believe in you.
I would fight for your people as if they were my own, friend.
That's not going to be enough to beat. That might be a problem. They're going to take losses anyway, so we don't need to worry too much. What about over here? An artist's studio. That is actually useful because we need to start changing the culture, don't we? Better late, better now. Like we're still waiting, biding our time. Nothing since the second Orthanc battle, really. Do a close battle in Reforge, which is of very high quality, please. Depends what I get sent, mate. Right, come on, Khazad-dûm. If they can take Western Moria, like Khazad-dûm will then be able to just destroy the goblins if they so choose.
This is our last stand, my friends.
Really? Another one? They're retreating, which is good. There's another army though. Looks like they beat Rohan though. That's a shame. This war with Isengard is starting to drag on a little bit, to be honest with you. I just want them to go away at this point. I want to move on with the campaign, and they're making it awkward. But it does look as though Gondor are expanding up this way as well. So, I mean, they should... I could try for peace with Isengard, to be honest with you. I might do that, even. Just because if Rohan can't recover from the position that I left them in, then Dale prospers. End of turn report. Unit recruitment completed. Alliance announced between Erebor and Anduin Vale. Built some Lorien archers here. Yes, this unit. We can go up this way. Continue to build. You. Ah, yes, right. What sort of army is this? Not a bad one. They're not going to be able to defeat us though, so it's completely pointless on their part. Right. What have we got here? An artist's studio. Actually, that's a good point. What is this settlement's culture? Not entirely elven, so let's say we change that. Right, we're being sieged. Right, what happened over here? Oh, I see. Their armies pulled back.
Your attention is an honor, noble ally.
Okay, well, that being the case, we shall also do the same.
Your orders.
Going to keep this diplomat over here because if Rohan fail to do their thing, then I'm going to try and sue for peace with Isengard because I want this war to be over with. Like, this was only really to save Rohan, but if the AI is too incompetent to succeed even with the help that I've given them, then they don't deserve to continue, to be honest with you. And I would much rather start expanding, because one of the campaign goals is to come down here at some point, and we're not even anywhere near the point where we can start thinking about coming down to Mordor, which is frustrating. Dog-Guldor should already be dead, really. Right. We will continue to use you like a mobile watchtower. And in here, still building units. Yep. You are dealing with the same problem Isengard is giving you as Dog-Guldor is. You aren't finishing them off. Yeah, but I can't finish them off because I need to focus fully on one of them. But I have to defend against both, which is the problem we're running into here. I think we are on the cusp of being able to wipe Dog-Guldor off the map, to be honest with you, because I'm continuously reinforcing Haldir's army with units from our heartland, and eventually we'll get to the point where we'll have a full stack and we can just go forwards and crush them. And hopefully if Rohan can just push back to Foldberg, they'll be fine. They managed to reconquer Edoras. Gondor and Enedwaith as well are a problem for Isengard. Like, this is the thing, Isengard will fizzle out. It's just whether or not they can do it quickly enough. They're going back that way. Yeah, they're heading towards us. There's another little army there which we should probably deal with. Orcs of Gundabad. Erebor still haven't finished them off. It's frustrating as well because we haven't really made any progress in this stream. We're sort of spinning our wheels a bit, and I want to move on with the campaign at this point. The Loka Khan of Rune is dead. So I think that's just Dorwinion doing their thing. The Dunland capital is besieged. Take the settlement of Eisenrun. That's more doable, but still slightly awkward. You move over there. We've got money. Let's see. What can we build? We don't really need a culture increase in Karas Galadon. Town Guard. Can build more of those. Right. Archery range. Haven't we already built an archery range? Oh, that of course, that's what we've already built. I'm blind. What an idiot. Ballista Maker, Art Gallery, Tavern. We don't really need to build anything else in here for the moment. Anything we would want to build is too expensive. Oh, excuse me. Ugh, my voice is giving up on me here. That's unfortunate. Right. Right, what is this army here? We're better off just using the defensive position again, honestly. Will they accept peace? Probably not, right? We've got to deal with another siege at Dog-Guldor. Right, well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll save it just in case it crashes. We might have two battles to deal with, one at Orthanc and one at Dog-Guldor. So, the garrison, Theoden is there. So where'd the rest of their armies go?
Without question.
Are they over here?
As you wish.
Captain Henrik?
Yes.
Right, okay.
Without question.
Gainard's garrison is more or less empty. Yeah, with both of these armies together, I still think we can probably deal with them, to be honest with you.
Approaching quietly.
Okay. Ah, good. Thank God for that. Rohan are doing something. They're doing something useful. I'll send my 2 units up to help them take that settlement. Just push them back to the Eisen, Rohan. That's all I ask of you. Italy was useless. Ah, World War II. I think regardless of what happens with these battles, we're sort of coming to the end of this stream, I think, just based on the time. We'll see what happens with Dog-Guldor and Isengard here. They may very well attack the settlements. Nope, they still don't fancy it. They're leaving as well. They're going towards Gainard. As are they. If we're being honest really here, I think we need another army down here, don't we, to finish Isengard off. I don't understand why Rohan haven't gone for Helm's Deep. Like, it's right there, and they've just let Isengard keep it. Try to get a diplomat to Dorwinion. Fornost assaulted. The Wood Elves flourish. Mirkwood are on the up, which is good. Right, that is...
Fight for your people as if they were my own. I'm gonna stick you.
There's a garrison. Why are you going this way? Okay. Let me see here. These armies are nothing to... They're no joke at this point, these armies, which is the problem. Look at this, look. Uruk-hai crossbowmen, they're now here. Not the sort of thing we want to be taking lightly.
Elves. I'm gonna stick you.
Okay. Can't build any more units there. Over here, we can. We can build some Lorien scouts, which we're going to do. We just need to get units out on the field at this point. Here, we did build an armory here. This is awkward. Very awkward, actually. More awkward than it ever had any right to be, really. Okay, maybe what we do, we've got an armory in here. If we just sort of fight outwards, if we go back the way we came. But that, I think, is a decision that we'll leave until next time. For now, we'll just leave ourselves in there. We can't build anything there either. I just want to do this Dog-Guldor battle and get that done with. What have we got up here? Hall of Song, Inn, Artist Studio, Paths, Builders, a port, increase in tradable goods. Oh, so much money though. Town Guard. Gives us the ability to construct more units, so why not? At this point we may as well there, right? Hopefully we can get this Dog-Guldor battle done with, and then this stream has really been spinning our wheels. But hopefully next time, I mean, we've taken Orthanc, like that was a significant deal, and Gondor have also, you can see on the little mini-map there, the spit of land that Gondor have sort of ripped into. Hopefully that's not because they're at war with Enedwaith. That would be... Wouldn't put it beyond Denethor, but let's hope that's not the case. Gondor really holding things down. Ooh, that was a victory for Isengard. Probably going to be another victory for Isengard as well. Yes, it was. Can you stop being miserable failures for one moment in this campaign, please, Rohan? Just do something. Let me see here. Right. I think we have to abandon Orthanc, to be honest with you. We're just too far away from anything. Rohan is still just... No, don't establish one there. Moria is under siege. They're just trying to siege me out, which is really, really annoying.
Elven warriors, onward! Come on! They will not see us in the forest.
Yeah, I'm taking the executive decision here that we're just moving. We're just going this way again. It's the only way to make it happen. Again, the balance of power in Medieval 2 is really... It's not great because it calculates it entirely on numbers, which means it's never going to be favourable for us. But yeah, I think we'll just... what I want to do is take these settlements, give them to Rohan, and then just leave them to their fate. Like, if they can't hold on to it after I literally give them all of their settlements back, then I'm done with them. What have we got going on back here? Archers, 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 archers. Good. And sure. Right. Infantry power. Your infantry troops for Caliborn is getting low. Yeah, I know, that's what I mean. I can't stay in Orthanc anymore. I'm too far away. I was hoping that we would be able to make inroads and sort of get Rohan forwards, but it's not working. So they failed me again. Theoden has just been such an appalling failure in this campaign. It's actually unbelievable. That line, "in whose mighty company I no longer feel ashamed," is not going to be applicable in this universe, I don't think. In this version of the timeline. Do they have crossbows back here? I'm willing to bet they probably do. No, actually they don't. Good. Do 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 do. Gondor is doing well? Yes, they are. Gondor is doing well, which is a good sign, honestly, because they're probably the ones that you would expect more, really, that they wouldn't be doing well. Right. You go there. And you lot move over here like so. We're going to put Caliborn on the front, because if the wargs come for him, then that would be extremely foolish of them. They're in a really awkward position, actually, aren't they? Well, actually, I think maybe we can bring this lot over here. Anyway. What are we doing here? Talking about a hypothetical World War III? Aren't you a cheery bunch? If such a thing were to happen, none of us would be around to see its aftermath, so I certainly wouldn't. I'm in a spot that would be turned to dust very quickly. Oh, that's a good point, actually. They have no spears near them now, do they? Right. Shoot the Uruk-hai bodyguards. Oh, I see. There's arrow towers. Get rid of those. How annoying. What did I miss since an hour ago? Honestly, it's been one of those where we're gonna have to give up on the dream of keeping Orthanc, because Rohan have just been, man, the vision of the heroic warriors from the movie that saved the day,
If we continue like this,
not accurate in this campaign at all. But could you stop using... Oh, yeah, that's what I was doing, wasn't it? Yeah, keep firing at that, actually. The wargs are going down, which is good. Right, and with that, again, the AI just being annoying more so than being effective. That's the only thing that CA seems to aim for, really, isn't it? When constructing their AI. We'll just soften them up as much as we can, I guess. Oh, move in a little bit closer. Ugh, this is so annoying. Alright, okay. Even with SARUMAN dead, they're still being just the most obnoxious group around. Alright, that's enough about World War III now, lads, yeah?
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
I despise politics in all its forms, and talking about World War III often devolves into talking about such things.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
Right, okay. Back over here with you. Actually, yeah, that's a good point. Take the walls.
Our soldiers have proved their worth today. The enemy's walls belong to us now.
Not the towers, apparently. Honestly, this is... Don't go around, crying out loud, pathfinding, come on. You come forward, I guess. Really need to make use of our archers, otherwise what's the point of having them here? Sebulba losing the pod race spitball or spiraled into a galactic war. Well, when you put it like that, right, we still need to play things this way. It would be quite liberating to play as the orcs and not have to worry about efficiency and the like. There we go. Very Engolith on the front line. We should be good.
The battle is very much in our favour. Victory will be ours.
Yeah, we need to go back to Lothlorien, to be honest with you. Hopefully we can give Rohan these territories on our way back, but maybe if we give them Helm's Deep, there'll be less failures.
The enemy army flees the field. Pursue and run them down. Be awed by the victory.
I wish that we could auto-resolve these fights against Isengard, but like I said, the way Medieval 2 calculates the balance of power pre-battle is only through numbers, which is never going to be good for us. Maul in Clone Wars was half the man he was in The Phantom Menace. Right.
We've defeated their wretched armies.
Relations worsened. Let's see here. Let's get me some money. Yeah, here we go. Dungeon. Don't think so. We'll get rid of that. Camp Guard. That gives us a little bit of... get rid of that as well. Marvellous. Isengard actually is content, which is quite amusing.
Elves.
Right, can we actually...
Yes, my lord.
Well, actually, it's probably not worth our while to give it back to them just yet, because they're just going to lose it again. Isengard are right there. Okay. Still got units here. What can we build? We've got a lot of money now. In fact, we've got enough money to the point where... Right, we could go for a barracks, which I think is what we're going to do, to be honest with you. And... Lim here. We could build some things. Roads. A builder's guild house, perhaps? A hall of music? That would be worth it in the long run, wouldn't it? Well, what are we going to build here? Are we? Stables? Go for stables, why not? Okay. Again. Paranoid about crashes at this point. Next turn will be the last one for the stream, I think. And we'll leave it there. Hopefully we can carve a path back to our own lands and give Rohan back some of their territory. The fact that Orthanc is content makes me want to keep it, really, just for as long as I possibly can. Just to be a drain on Isengard more than anything. Off go Khazad-dûm to the wild, untamed north. Thranduil, is he fine? Well, I mean, Thranduil's elves. Even Mirkwood's not really right, is it? The Woodland Realm and Dale are prospering, so that implies that both of them have grown to a decent extent. Look at this. Look at this mess. And it is a mess, just because it takes so long to sort through when armies like... And I'm not really getting anything out of this fight either. Become a $2 trillion company? Sure. Dance Guild in Foldberg? No. Because we are not keeping hold of Foldberg for any length of time. Right, what have we got going on here?
Have a taste of my blade. Your intention is an
allies.
noble ally.
Right, I know what I'm going to do. I am now.
It is good to see you, my friend. How can
Oh,
we help?
hang on a minute. No, 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 no,
Good day
no.
to you.
First and foremost, let's move out of our territory. We're going to lose it next turn anyway, so...
Impossible. I cannot do that. Joining armed escort.
Wait, what am I doing? No, 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 no.
Your orders. Traveling alone.
For crying out loud. No, hang on a minute. I just botched that to a large extent, so I'm loading the game again. Can't enter negotiations more than twice in a single turn, which is ridiculous, really, but such is the way of things. I haven't invested in towers just because the situation hasn't called for it. I've been constantly fighting and constantly struggling to try and keep my territory. I haven't had the luxury of being able to send a general out and plopping down towers. It's just not the... It hasn't come up. Right, here we go. Can't wait for Rohan to botch the move they did last turn, which was so good. Forcing Isengard onto the back foot. Oh, they're attacking. Okay, that works. This is a good way to end the stream. Another defense of Dog-Guldor. Does Rohan still have a chance? Yeah, they have every chance. Like, as long as they can get these territories, and then they will be fine. I believe that. But they've done such a poor job at re-expanding again. They've taken back Edoras, but they've done nothing else. And it's just frustrating to see them constantly ruin their own chance at making something happen. Well, I mean, this is something we're just going to approach in exactly the same way as we did before. We're just going to have to put everything up here. We actually have some cav now as well. Girthinen. Right, hold on a moment. It's a little bit messy, but needs must. I think we have everything. Nope, we nearly left a unit of very healthy swordsmen behind, which would have been disastrous. That, however, is everything. Good. Elven defenders on the front. Spearmen just in behind. And as soon as the time comes, we'll put them into the one man I like from. I mean, I like Rohan. It's just a case of them being so disappointing in this campaign. Like, bear in mind as well that I've taken on such a heavy amount of the workload against Isengard, and they've still not recovered. I'm not going to use the cav in this battle. I just brought them here because later when I'm expanding, they will be useful if I ever get the chance to expand. But yeah, I'm definitely done babysitting Rohan as soon as I get out of this situation. Like, thematically it made a lot of sense, but my patience is just is wearing thin at this point. At the very least, we're now to the point where we've gotten out some good-sized armies. We're continuously pumping out troops.
The enemy have ladders at the walls. Our cunning foe has reached our walls with their siege tower. We must repel them. Ready, elves. Give them your spears. Give them your spears.
There we go. But yes, we've got a decent amount of Girthinen now.
All will be lost.
A nice amount of morale shocking capabilities. They can hide. Definitely a good unit that we've used so far as Lorien.
The enemy are battering down our gates.
Oh, what's this? Orc maulers.
Blast their eyes. The enemy's ram is through our gates.
There we go. Should be easy kills. Especially against unshielded units such as this. Yeah, you're definitely right about the Gurvileg. I've seen them utilised before to... What the hell's going on there? Really? Oh, that's really annoying as well. Because they can shoot up at us, but we can't shoot back at them. This is one of the main problems with Dog-Guldor as a settlement, is it's actually kind of awkward when you're on the defence. And there's nothing we can do about this either. Like, we just got to sit here and take it until they're out of ammunition, which is going to take a hell of a long time. In fact, it's probably worth our time to just get in there with everything, because otherwise they're just going to start focusing them down. Positionally, it's just annoying. Fortunately, their accuracy is so bad. That should be the end of them, to be honest. They're going to start to break now. Can you shoot them, or are you just going to refuse as well? Better that you shoot something rather than nothing, after all. Yeah, they don't stand a chance in melee, though. Like, this is the difference between Dog-Guldor and Isengard as well. Like, Dog-Guldor just barely lay a scratch on me in melee, but Isengard are capable. Look at, they've got goblin headhunters as well. Okay, good. Look at how poor their morale is as well. You love to see it. Right, get down here. Dog-Guldor needs a makeover. Well, I mean, yeah, that's what Eric here, the one of the head developers for Divide and Conquer, said. Like, he did mention that they're not a fan of the Dog-Guldor battle map, and in terms of layout, neither am I. I don't mind the fact that it's sort of like this sort of tiered settlement, but they need mechanically to change it so that it's more reliable for the defenders, because if you're on the attack, you could even just sit out here on this hill and shoot over into the town centre. That's how I was going to cheese taking the settlement in the first place. Right. Yeah, pull over to the side. They're already routing and broken, so I'm actually surprised we're still taking damage at all, to be honest with you. Unless there is a unit that isn't routing and broken in there. Let's see here. I'm not going to ride them down, Lango, because if I move in there, they won't break, and there's too much over there that will kill my lightly armoured cavalry, so it's not worth my time. If it was a better unit, if it was a higher tier unit of cavalry, I would, but they won't accomplish what I want them to. And there's still maulers and such over there. They're all shaken. They might rout, but I'm not willing to take that chance. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? Now, yeah, they're going to get ripped apart, I think, by Haldir and his boys. This unit of Gerthinen's got a gold chevron, which is pretty nice. Right, get in there, just charge in there now. Let's see. The Light of Elbereth. Goblin Headhunter's broken. Maulers, go after them next. Cav can backstab. You got one of the gates. Yeah, I do now, but like at this point it's barely even worth my while, but I will do so. Right.
Behold how our cowardly foe
well, that's that, I guess.
press the attack.
There we go. Perfect. They have another almost together into Dunedain. Unit models look better in Reforged. It's all a matter of opinion, I suppose. Different priorities, I would say. What's going on here? Why are there still red triangles on the map?
The enemy are
There we go.
utterly vanquished.
So this is the thing, if I pushed into Dog-Guldor's territories, their units are just not up to the task of facing mine. But yeah, I mean, next stream, like, to be honest, like the mulching battle against Isengard is gotten old at this point, and I just want to end it. Get rid of all of them. Another army of theirs defeated. But next time, hopefully, what we can do is we can finally get Rohan to... Because I think if we can take this settlement over here, Gainard, and get them back Helm's Deep, Isengard won't have enough left to actually withstand. No, we're not building anything in there. But yes, so I will save the game here. And this will be the point that we pick up again in the next stream, where hopefully we can finally get rid of this pesky Isengard war. Because we actually have made a shockingly small amount of progress towards our campaign end goals, which is to defeat Dog-Guldor completely and to defeat Mordor completely. At the very least, Gondor is still going to be around to help us out with that, I think. But yeah, not exactly the way I wanted the stream to be ending. I wanted the stream to be ending with Isengard already dealt with. But such is the way of things. The AI loves to be annoying more so than effective, and that is the situation that we are in. Next stream will probably be on Monday. That's the plan. Next week there's probably going to be a few more things going on a few more of the days, so I think the plan next week will be to have just the 2 streams rather than the 3 that we've had this week. Probably on Monday, and probably another one as well on either Thursday or Friday, depending on when my schedule allows it. There will be a video out over the weekend as well, one of the historical scenarios that's sort of viewed through Reforged. And there will also be 2 more pre-recorded videos next week. So yeah, that'll be the thing. So that's what I'm going to be going for from now on, I think, and until my schedule dictates that I can't. I'll be trying to do 2 streams a week, and 2 regular videos a week. I think that's probably the best way to carry on with things, and where I can, maybe do a 3rd stream as well, like I did with this week, because this week my schedule did allow it. So yeah, big thank you to everyone for stopping by. Hopefully next time we can really start rolling forwards in the campaign. That would be my hope anyway. At the very least, Gondor seem to be doing us a solid by continuing to expand and continuing to do their thing, but with the Ara Dunaim on the way, that might be short-lived. So let's hope. But yeah, big thank you to everyone for showing up. I think as well, when we start to get towards the end of the Lothlorien campaign, which, based on how awkward Isengard have made it, is not likely to be for at least 2, possibly even 3 weeks. But then we can start to have a think about what the next campaign is going to be in this. And I think I'll sort of draw up a short list of factions that I wouldn't mind playing as next. Obviously, something different from elves in the middle of the map. We'll be doing something a bit different. But then I will put that, I think, to a vote. I think that would be the best way to do things. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you'll join me for whatever is next.